record. Okay, I'm going to start recording now. And then let's go back to here. Okay, so over here is Java official document. Okay, Java official. And previously we discussed. Hold on, let me do share. Did I already share screen?
No.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. To select this one. Okay, now I'm share screen. Is it? So previously we said Java object class is root class. Is it? Okay, is the root of the class hierarchy. Is it? Of all other class. Okay, superclass, is it? So if you take a look, it's from which package? Java language package? Is it? It's a class, is it? It's a class. Okay, and so it said every class has object as a superclass. So by default, even though previously what we learned, what we did, we never define object as super, but by default, okay, Java still be the super class. Okay, then next let's take a look at this super class object. It has a constructor called object, is it? And then next let's see, it has a method, is it? If you take a look, it has the equals method, is it? That's what we just did in our commission employee, is it? We override this equals method. The equals method, it looks like the parameter is object. Is it? It's object. And it also has a clone method, okay. And the other method, yeah. Over here, if you take a look, is it? Class object, is it has this method called toString. Is it toString? And in our commission employee, we also discussed, we override this toString method. Okay, then next let's take a look at that equals method, what it defines. Is it? So this is the definition of that equals method of object class. Is it? And generally speaking, when we discuss equals method, it says we implement equivalent relation on non-null object reference. Okay. So what does all of this means? Let's see. The equals, so it has a couple of properties, generally speaking, when you implement the equals method, okay? And later on, when we have complicated cases, we will have better understanding the case, okay? But be careful. If you remember in our commission employee example, commission employee, is it? It's the public class, commission employee, and we have that override that equals method, is it? So public Boolean equals, is it? Equals method, is it? And within it, if you still recall, is it? We use what? We call the first name dot, is it? Compared to, and we plug in with what? With another e dot first name. Name is 0. Is it? We use it. We didn't do this. First name equal e dot first name. Is it? Because what? Because this is for references. Is it for the memory location? Is it? And This is for contents. For content, is it? So that's why over here for the equals cares about the contents, okay, the value part. It doesn't care about the reference, okay, so that's the equals method. And the toString, same thing, is it? You can see object class also has a toString, and its toString will return the class name at and something, is it? Something, some hash code, something. And that's why over here, okay, let's go back to our code. Oh, I need to share screen. And share screen. And over here, is it? So that's why over here we override that toString. So over here, what the override it means override the object classes toString, okay, toString. So it's, and then we provide our own version of the implementation of this toString. Is it? Because if you use the object class, you won't get first name, last name, social security number of this information. Okay, you will get some other information regarding that object. Okay, that's not what we need here. We interested in getting all of those information. Okay, and equals method, same thing. Okay, nothing too much new here for the commission employee, okay? So just to remember here, we use the keyword extends, is it? So we express the inheritance relationship, is it, between commission employee and object, is it, a class. And another new concept is protected, but so far we haven't used it, okay? Okay, then next let's take a look the second class in this package. The second class in this package, this time if you take a look, we have another class called base plus commission employee, okay? It's that it extends the commission employee. Commission employee we just defined, is it? So this time the relationship, if we draw, it will look like this. We have object class, and then we have what? Commission employee. Commission employee. And after that, we have, where is it? It's this one. After this, we have a base plus commission employee. Is it? So that's the relationship. So here we have super class. Is it? This is subclass of object class. Okay, but commission employee, you can also say it's super class of who? Of base plus. Base plus commission employee class, is it? And the base plus commission is what? It's subclass of the commission employee, is it? So the relationship regarding two classes, who is superclass, who is subclass, okay? So over here, once again, to define that is a relationship. Okay, relationship. Okay, anyway, so that's over here. If you use extends some other class, so that means this is subclass and this is superclass. Okay, define the relationship between these two classes. Okay, in base class, it just lists this single instance variable, base salary. But you just think base class should also, the base plus commission is an employee, is it? So it should also have first name, last name, social security, is it? Salary of those. But we didn't list here, is it? Because there is no such necessary, because this class inherit from commission employee. So it also inherits those features. Okay, those features. Then let's see, it's constructor, base plus commission employee constructor, is it? So it also has first, last, social security sales rate, is it? Only this is for base salary, is it? So where are all of those going to go, is it? If you take another close look, it's called super, and then plug in those. So who is this super? This means it's called super class constructor. Okay, so it will call commission employees constructor, okay, to initialize first name, last name, social security sales, commission rate of those features, attributes. So it will initialize those attributes, and it next assign the base salary. Okay, so that's how it works. So you do need to first call. So just remember, okay, you need to first call superclass constructor, okay, before you do something on your instance variable, okay? So in the subclasses constructor. Okay, then next, let's see. So here we have set and get method, etc. So nothing new here for this two. And then next, over here, we also define earnings, is it? And over here you have the override. So override who? So override superclass commission employee. It's earnings method. It has an earnings method. Okay, and in this earnings method, let's see how it looks like. So over here it's a base salary plus commission rate and gross rate. These two are from what? From superclass. Is it super? Okay, so over here you can see this database, but for these two you cannot write as base dot, is it? Because they are super classes. Okay, but
I have a question.
we can directly access. We can directly, because what? Because both are protected, defined. Hold on, okay, I will get back to you. Yeah, please.
So overriding a superclass means that in this method we can use variables of the superclass, right?
Yeah, not, no, let's go back. That's not a definite answer, okay? So it depends. Because both gross sale and commission, they are defined as protected. So if they are defined protected, then, so the keyword protected, the visibility is to class itself, okay, plus subclass. Okay, so subclass can directly access. If you define as private, then even its inheritance, there is the inheritance relationship you cannot access. Okay, subclass cannot.
So you can do override only if and only if the variable is protected.
Oh, no, that doesn't mean, oh, no. That has nothing to do with override, okay? Okay, let's see, go back to the base plus. Oh, the base class, is that base plus the earnings, is it? If we take, okay, earnings override, is it? So you can access, is it? You can access here. And the two string can also, but this doesn't make sense. Okay, let's go back here. even within here, I'm not, let's get rid of this. Even over here, if I do something, suppose I do gross sales, okay. Let's see, equals gross sales plus 9.9, suppose. You see, it's still legal. It doesn't mean only override method can access protect. No, within the subclass, any method can access protected instance variable. Okay,
so what's the point of override?
Okay, very good question. What's the point of the override? Okay, let me comment this out. The override, okay, let's go back to commission employee. Commission employee has the earnings method. Is it? Commission employee's earnings calculated based on this, commission times gross sale. Is it? Okay, that's this method. And then base plus. Then for base plus, the calculation is wrong. Is it? If you just use commission and gross, then you don't have base salary. Is it? So that's not what you expect. You want to have base salary also be included. Is it? So I want to use my own earnings. I don't want to use the super class's earning method to do the calculation. Okay, then you need to provide your own. That makes sense? Because if you don't, later on when we see the client part of program, you will see there is an issue. Then no matter if, even if you are defined as base plus commission employee, your salary will still be calculated. You don't have base salary, then in that case, you will still only earn just commission rate times the gross rate. That's not what you want, is it? You want a different way to calculate, is it? So that's why if you want your own for the subclass, then you provide override. That makes sense?
So
Just
it's like an overload for methods, but it's like override for class?
Yeah, we can understand, like, yeah, very good. Yeah, we can understand something like that. Yeah, so basically later on we will also see this related with OOP's another feature called polymorphism. Okay, you just think about the two-string. Is it two-string object that a super class of all of the class is a root of the hierarchy? That object class has a two-string, but you don't want to use that two-string, is it? You want to use your own version of two-string. That's why over here we provide an overridden two-string method. That makes sense? It's just if it's a subclass want to have its own feature, not completely from the parent class, is it? Then you need to provide your own definition of the method. But in that case, you need to provide this override annotation. Okay, you need to provide this at override. That makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Any other question? So it has nothing to do with it's protected or not protected, okay? And over here for the two-string, then same thing, is it? You can directly access those protected, is it? So directly access superclass. This is protected, is it? Because otherwise you're not supposed to use based on what we previously defined, encapsulation, is it? You are not you're not supposed to access that. But because over here, we define those instance variables for the superclass as protected. That's why it also allows the subclass, the child class, to access. Okay, so that's kind of the concept here. Okay. Any other questions regarding so far regarding what we learned? The superclass, subclass. This reflects the inheritance relationship. Okay, and we also learned the keyword extends. Is it extends? So if you use the extends followed by the superclass name, then this defines this new class is a subclass of the commission employee class. Is it? And then over here, we also show the subclass can override superclass's method. Is it? Then you need to define it as override. Okay. And also all of the subclass method can directly access superclass protected instance variables. Okay, and if it's a protected instance method, you can also access. Okay, but just that special protected, that keyword, okay, it's allow subclass to access. So this makes sense of this. So basically over here, we learned the keyword. Is it public, then protected, and then private. Is it? So public is everyone. Is it? And the protected limited to what? Super class and subclass. Is it? That's what protected. Private its own. Is it? Class itself. Is it? So that's regarding the visibility. Is it? And from private to public, it's getting more and more visibility. Is it? So that's the general idea about